Welcome back to the next episode of my exciting journey through the beautiful state of Queensland. In this video, I find myself in the northern peninsula area of far north Queensland. I flew into the Northern Peninsula Airport with Regional Express Airlines, and I recommend you check that video out. Meanwhile, let's get this video started in the largest township of the NPA, right here in Bamaga. G'day everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'm coming to you from far north Queensland here in the Northern Peninsula area. I am in the township of Bamaga, and this is such a unique part of Australia because all of us have an impression about what Australia is like, but Australia is so diverse it is impossible to cover everything in one video. So today I'm here in Bamaga. I just keep my fingers crossed that I can bring this place justice in terms of showcasing how beautiful this area is, how different this part of Australia is to the rest of the country. Really, there's really nowhere like it. So I arrived yesterday, so we shall begin our video there during my arrival, and then we shall just progress from there, and I'll take you through what this area has to offer and my journey, my personal journey through the exploration of this beautiful part of the country. Let's go. The Northern Peninsula area is home to just over 3,000 people, spread over an area covering 1,052 square kilometers. The regional council includes towns of a few hundred people like Ninu, Ninu, Seisia, Somerset, Umachiko, and the town here is Bamaga, the largest settlement of them all, with 1,164 residents calling this home. Bamaga and Ninu are the only two towns not located by the coast. Although from here, the beach is only a short 5-minute drive at Seisia. 83% of the residents here identify as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people. Dogs. They are everywhere. And they all seem to belong to someone, so they were mostly jovial and friendly. I am fine with stray dogs, but what's interesting are these horses. They all roam freely around Bamaga, munching on greenery, helping keep the shrubbery in check. As fascinating as this is, keep your eyes on the pavement because you do not want to be stepping on horse poo. During my time here, I stayed at the Cape York Peninsula Lodge. It's the only hotel here. But because this isn't tourist season, I was, well, the only tourist there the entire time. There was another group of government workers from out of town staying there during the week, and we all departed together at the end of my stay. Come, let's take a closer look. Ooh, it is so humid here. Oh gosh. There, much better. Welcome to the Cape York Peninsula Lodge. This is my first night here. Got off the plane earlier on from Cairns. Settled very nicely into this tranquil looking facility. There is a river that's just flowing in front of our cabins. The yellow block, that's where my cabin is. This I want to call this a hotel, but it is not really a hotel. Well, let's just call it a hotel. Yeah, this place is not cheap. Okay, I paid about $264 a night, 264 Australian dollars. Yeah, it's a pretty basic setup, but when you come to a town as remote as Bamaga, you don't expect things to be cheap. I paid for a rental 4-wheel drive for one day tomorrow, so I'm picking it up tomorrow morning. That cost me $300. But I will explain in detail as I go along in this video why the prices are such. Okay, at the end of the day, it is all for a good cause. So I don't mind paying this sort of prices if it's all going into a good cause. I will explain more in detail as we go along. But now I'm very hungry because I'm always hungry. There's no reason why I'm hungry, but I'm always hungry. I'm always eating. It's time for dinner. So I'm heading to the restaurant at the hotel for some chow, for some grub. Let's go eat. Two dogs just appeared out of nowhere. I have no idea where they're from. Look at them. What? Hi. Hey. 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 Look at them. How cute. Where are you from? I have no idea where they're from though. So here I am at dinner at the restaurant at the lodge. It's been a long day of traveling, so I decided to have a steak to celebrate the arrival at my ultimate destination, which is here in Bamaga in Northern Peninsula area. The whole reason for this trip is for me to come to Bamaga. So here am I at the lodge, tucking into my steak. I ordered it with mashed potato and roasted vegetables. This is good steak. I've asked for it to be cooked medium rare. Yeah. Well done. There's still a bit of pink in it. This is what I like. Any one of you who have your steak done above medium rare, medium and well done, you are not my friend. Why? The dog came back wanting to have a piece of my dinner. No. I am walking back to the room. There's just so much noise. So much noise. It's incredible. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the camera, but yeah, they're all coming from the creek over here. I saw quite a lot of toads on the pathway, so it could be that. Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it, listening to all these sounds. Okay, I should be back here now. I think this is my room. Yeah, this is my room. So dark. Whew. So I thought I'd give you a tour of the room. Just excuse the mess, okay? Because I didn't waste any time. I unpacked and then I went up to do my stuff today. So this is a queen size bed. You've got also the tea and coffee service. Yeah. The coffee comes in the form of a capsule. If you like this, okay, there's also capsules. And there is the instant one as well. Let's see, toilet, where's the switch? There you go. Got a shower just behind me and toilet. There, like I said, it's very simple. Simple accommodation. The air conditioning is one unit up there. Yeah, so it's everything is pretty simple, but you're paying a lot for it because this is Bamaga. Nothing here is cheap. So if you want to come here for a holiday, be prepared to spend. The next morning, after those who needed to work left the hotel, I became the only guest hanging around. It was such a surreal experience heading into the restaurant for breakfast. Poached eggs with hollandaise. Yum, can't go wrong with that. Now that I've collected my wheels for the day, I was free to roam. During tourist season, Bamaga is a major stopping point for four-wheel drive enthusiasts who would have endured weeks of rugged terrain and unsealed roads to get here. Because only the townships have sealed roads. Ibis Supermarket has all the supplies one would need, but be prepared to pay a premium, because whatever this town needs mostly has to be flown in from Cairns. Important thing today was to get a Telstra prepaid SIM card, and yes, I could get it sorted here. Now, we've got the SIM card sorted. Now, the reason why I need a SIM card is because I have no mobile reception out here. And without mobile reception, I was relying on the Wi-Fi at the hotel, which wasn't working very well. It kept dropping out, and even when the Wi-Fi was on, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't check in for my flights. I couldn't I could go into social media and all that, but it kept dropping out, so I could not upload any photos, I could not do anything. And more importantly, I could not access my internet banking because I need to pay the hotel and this car rental. I need to pay them tomorrow when I leave. And if I can't access my internet banking, I can't transfer any funds to pay them from my card. Now, I do not have any credit cards. Yeah, surprise, surprise, I've been credit card free for the last 10 years, so I haven't had any credit cards for that long, so all I have is a debit card. And if I don't have enough money in the bank, I cannot pay the hotel tomorrow when I leave. That's why I needed to get the SIM card. Well, anyway, it took me an hour 15 minutes to get that sorted, but you're out here, you don't expect things to run that quickly. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's such a remote place because the lines at the supermarket kept dropping out. Whenever I tried to pay, the machine would be thinking and then it would just drop out. So the phone lines here are pretty bad as well. But you need to expect this coming to such a remote location, so don't get upset. It is what it is. Well, anyway, now that is all sorted, we can just continue our exploration of Cape York and the Northern Peninsula. Let's go! Driving around Cape York, the northernmost part of mainland Australia, is considered one of the wildest and most remote journeys Australia has to offer. It is stuff bucket lists are made of. Most roads outside of town aren't paved, and there are also no mobile cell towers. So even if you're with Telstra, you'll have no reception once leaving the townships. So make sure you download offline maps before making any journey, and to let the hotel know where you're headed to in an unlikely event you run into trouble. The roads are heading up to the tip. The roads are unpaved. It's unsealed, so it's mostly gravel. So there's no way you're gonna be able to bring a two-wheel drive through this track. It's highly recommended that you drive a four-wheel drive. That's why I rented this very butch-looking ute. Yeah, that's why I rented this ute for me to drive on this track, because you need to be careful as well. And thankfully, the weather has held up. It's supposed to be the wet season, so I was actually quite worried that the roads will be muddy and unpassable, and I was worried I was going to get bogged. But it looks like the weather has held up. It's pretty sunny, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting drive all the way up there. You need to watch out though. There are also a lot of wild horses. If you have seen the previous footage in Bamaga, they're not just out there in the town, they're out here as well. They roam freely everywhere, so you need to be careful not to drive your car into them. I have seen a few kangaroos already, but they're pretty small, very tiny. They almost look like cats. Cats that skip and jump. Yeah, can't wait to get to the tip. Depending on road conditions, the drive to Pajinka, where the tip is located, can take between 45 minutes to an hour. As the drive went along, the track became narrower, so you cannot really go at a fast speed. So please, take your time and don't rush. Just enjoy the scenery along the way. I have arrived in Pajinka, and this open sea here leads to Papua New Guinea. I will talk more about the sea when I reach the tip. Now, there is no indication about where to go, how to walk to the tip, but I was told just walk on the rocks to the right, whatever that means. So I am assuming they're talking about this stretch of rock here. Just walk all the way to the end. I'm the only one here, so that's all good. I was so afraid there was going to be a lot of people here, but no, this is not the tourist season. So I am going to walk on the rocks. Wish me luck. As there are no signs to tell you where to go and which path to take, you need to use a little bit of common sense to find your way. Make sure you also slap lots of sunscreen and drink lots of fluids for hydration. This hike should take about 20 to 30 minutes, which requires a moderate level of fitness. The view along the way is absolutely breathtaking, and when you see these pointy stone markers, it means you're on the right track. So here we are, we finally made it to the tip of the Australian continent. This is the furthest north that I can go without getting myself wet or getting bitten by crocodiles. Which reminds me, I shouldn't even be this close to the water. Well, this trip has been a year in the making. It was planned just before COVID happened, so I wasn't able to come here because of all the lockdowns and such. Yeah, but here I am, finally making this trip happen. Not just a year though. You know, when I left Singapore 10 years ago, I told myself when I moved to Australia, I want my life to be as different as possible compared to what I was, compared to my life back in Singapore when I was there. 10 years ago, I was at the peak of my corporate career, and the stress was immense. And I was working 12, 16-hour days, Mondays to Fridays, and sometimes Saturdays. It was relentless. There was no break from the madness that was going on there. So when I chose to leave Singapore, when I came to Australia, I told myself I am never ever going back into that pressure pot situation again. So this trip today represents a sort of a milestone, a sort of an achievement for me that, you know, I have made my life so completely different to what it was when I was in Singapore. So yeah, I'm gonna take this all in. This is a beautiful experience for me, and yeah, it's almost, the experience is almost spiritual, if you get what I mean. It's just a very humbling experience to see this beauty out here. Yep, I will never look back on this experience and regret anything that I've done today. Very nice. If you followed my journey from Adelaide, it's taken me 4 days, 4 flights, 2 milk runs and 3 overnight stops to get here. And Pajinka is the whole reason why I planned this trip. There's no better location to mark a milestone in your life than right here, at the northernmost tip of this beautiful continent I'm lucky enough to call home. The tip is definitely an iconic bucket list destination, and this is going to be a tough act to follow. We must not forget that this area holds an important cultural significance to the traditional owners, so take nothing but photos and leave nothing but footprints. And let's take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and thank the Gudang Yadikeno people for allowing us to experience this. At some point, someone must have thought it was a good idea to build a resort here, because they are just these abandoned houses. I was gonna take a look at it, but there is a snake curled up there, probably taking a nap in this heat. So no, I'm not gonna venture into that house. I drove back into Bamaga to regroup and have a quick lunch before setting off into the tracks again. I popped into the only service station in town for a quick bite. So I've decided to stop at the BP Servo for some lunch, so I got myself some crumbed oysters and a bacon, egg and cheese muffin. Now, I mentioned about prices being a bit on the high side here in Bamaga because some of the establishments here are run by the Bamaga Enterprises Limited. It is a profit-driven social company. It's like a co-op. So whatever you spend in these locations, the profits that they generate from the business goes back into the community to help them. Whether is it to elevate them from poverty or to help them in social causes. So like I say, even though you pay a slightly higher price when you're spending in these locations, I don't mind doing it because it's for a good cause. So Bamaga Enterprises Limited operates this BP Servo here. It also runs the Bamaga Tavern and the lodge that I'm staying in, the Cape York Peninsula Lodge. So that's why things are a little pricey. So the lunch here, muffin and 3 little pieces of oysters, cost me $12.50. Yeah, it is pricey. Like I said, I don't mind paying as long as it's going for a good cause. So bon appetit. For history buffs and earth geeks, Bamaga is the location of 2 crash sites, and this is one of them. This DC-3 left Brisbane in the evening of May 1945 on the way to New Guinea. It crashed here with no survivors. The wreckage trail has been left as it is as a memorial to those who perished in this accident. We're now off to explore another track which would take me to Punsand Bay. By now, the skies decided to show me what wet season on the MPA really looks like. The roads have become incredibly slippery and I had to slow down because I wasn't too sure about the tires. This trip was cut short prematurely because I wasn't confident trying to cross this bad boy. My ute wasn't equipped with a snorkel and I couldn't tell the depth of this flowing creek. So with tail between my legs, I retreated and called it a day. I later watched other YouTube videos and realized I could have just pushed through the creek with ease. Oh well, next time I suppose. The locals will tell you, sunrise at the tip and sunset in Seisia. So here we are in Seisia, which is just a short drive from Bamaga. It is a township of just about 100 people, and it's popular during the tourist season because of its camping grounds. There are also several fishing charters which will use Seisia as a base during this season. You can catch a ferry from here to Thursday Island, but make sure you check the timetables beforehand as this service is seasonal. That was quick. My visit to Bamaga is almost coming to an end. So I am here in the little township of Seisia. So when you want to see the sunrise, you go to the tip, which I was at earlier today. And when you want to see the sunset, you come to Seisia. It's just so peaceful here. All the locals that I've met so far, they are very friendly because I stick out like a sore thumb. You don't see a lot of this over here in northern Peninsula area. Amazing, and I would love to come back again if it wasn't so far away. Because if you've been following my journey since I left Adelaide, it took me almost 4 days. Yeah, it took me about 4 days to get here. 4 days, 4 flights, 16 airports, 3 overnight stays. But the journey has been worth it. This is all because I wanted to create videos for you guys, and this trip has been very, very fruitful. It feels like you're in a different country, and the people are just so friendly here. I would love to come back. I do. I would love to come back. But at some point I would love to come back because this is just a very beautiful part of the world. Yeah. So I'm gonna sit back, enjoy the sunset, and then go for dinner. And that will conclude my stay here. in the Northern Peninsula area. I'll see you guys at dinner. Dinner tonight was at Bamaga Tavern. I like to head to the local pub of a small town whenever I visit because that's where you get a feel of what the town is all about. It's a simple but cute and charming little setup. There is no pretense here, which I find extremely endearing. I got myself another serve of steak with gravy. This was on point and it was $10 cheaper than the lodge. Well, everyone, this is the conclusion of my stay here in Bamaga. There's a beautiful sunset behind me. Gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. Yeah, so that was dinner at the tavern. The meals are surprisingly a lot cheaper than I expected. It was pretty decent, the steak, so not much complaints there. Yep, so if you've watched the video until this point, I'd like to thank you for all your support. And yeah, I'll leave details of my Instagram up on your screen right now, so you can chuck me a follow there. And then from there, you'll know my travels in real time, and you'll also get an idea of the kind of videos that will be coming up on my channel. And more importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you know every time when I embark on another epic adventure like this one. Tomorrow, I leave the Northern Peninsula area back to civilization. I'm heading back to Cairns in Queensland. So I really don't want to leave because this place is just gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful. Alright, so until my next video, take care all of you guys, stay safe, and I'll see you for my next one. Bye!